Good morning, everybody. So I am going to make my session something very fun for all of you, just to make sure that everybody gets to interact and I also get to learn from you. That's my whole focus today. Okay. Let's start with something very simple. Can all of you see the screen? Raise your hands if you cannot see the screen.
Yes, Mr. Alagan, we can see your screen.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to ask you a question. Everybody, I want all of you to type the answer on the chat box. So, you see these three lovely, beautiful birds, right? So there are three birds on a branch and two birds decided to fly away. How many birds do we have left? I want the answers on the chat immediately. Let's see. Okay, most of you are saying three birds, three. Looks like a very intelligent bunch of people. Why did you say three? Can somebody answer me? Can somebody tell me why you said three and not? Yeah, that's very interesting. So Tilini says, Tilini and Ishara or Ishara. Who else? So they brought in a very interesting point that all of these birds decided, right? But none of them actually, we don't know whether they did it. So making a decision is very easy, but actually following through and then making it happen is very different. So I saw this post when I was a student, okay? And that inspired me a lot. That made me start to think, all right, so what exactly is the difference between why we want certain things and why we achieve or don't achieve certain things? And that has been puzzling me from a long time. And so there are two things that puzzles me. One thing is when you speak to everybody seems interested in becoming great. Everybody wants to be successful, but only a few people turns out to be successful. Number two thing that baffles me is, can somebody tell me the let's say the market cap or the value of, for example, Apple? The value of Apple as a company, the market capitalization or the value. So if I ask you how much is Apple worth, what would be your answer? How much is Facebook worth? How much is Amazon worth? How much is Microsoft worth? So when I did that calculation, like this was like many years back, yeah. When I did the calculation, there was a point where Facebook was close to $430 billion in value. And now they are much more than that. And it started to surprise me that Sri Lanka as a country, our GDP itself is close to 78 or 80 billion dollars. So literally Facebook can buy us and still have 90% of their money left. So that kind of gave me the understanding how powerful software and technology industry can be. If you build a product, if you build a service that really genuinely benefits people, how much value you can build, you will be able to build a value that's even bigger than your own country. So these are the two things that completely baffled me when I was very small. So when I finished my school, I it was a very long story of how I got into tech, but we don't have enough time on that. So I'm going to cover starting from how I entered tech industry and then how I proceeded further. So when I entered Slit, I had these two things in my mind. One is a lot of people want to do things, but they don't get to complete everything. People don't turn out to be successful. Number two, tech companies and any other businesses in general, businesses can grow bigger than a country. And coming from a Sri Lankan, a small country like Sri Lanka, it was kind of very encouraging for me. So during my undergrad time, like you guys, I was there about eight years back. So at that point, I gave myself a kind of a strong conviction. This is how I'm going to make use of my undergrad time. Starting with the first one, I made sure from my first year that I would start to aggressively learn coding. And when I started to learn coding, I also started to realize that to make more impact, I need to contribute to more people, which is also fair, right? So when I decided that I need to make impact, I started identifying a very interesting open source projects and I started to contribute to them. So that's how I found a geoinformatics center in Thailand, who were working on some really great technologies and satellite imagery to disaster management. They had partnership with companies like JAXA, which is kind of the equal to NASA in Japan. So it was very fascinating for me. So like most of you, when I see something that really fascinates and something, you see places where you really want to work, right? When I saw GIC, I felt I really want to work here. And usually what we do when you really want to work here, work in a place, but the place is not even in Sri Lanka. The place is in Thailand, in some other country. And me, son of a teacher from a very below middle class family from a tiny village in Sri Lanka, I can't even think of going abroad and doing an internship. To even study in Slit, I had to get 2 different loans and get 2 different, my brothers and somebody else to sign to be able to afford that. So I don't come from a rich family. So it was a big step. What would you do? I will tell you something that worked for me. The chances are it's easily replicatable. What I did was, when I was in my university, I started to learn about the places that I really like. One thing is a geoinformatics center in Thailand. I started to read through their research papers and I came across some research problems that they were genuinely struggling with. And when I came across some research problems that they were struggling with, some of them had a little bit of technology input in it. So I just got a little excited and started figuring out whether I can find solutions for those problems. And imagine if I can find a solution, obviously they would be more than happy to give me an opportunity to work with them, right? Or remotely or whatever it is. And I started coding. I started sending the professor and the directors some solutions for things that they were actually working on and struggling with. Most of my early solutions were genuinely stupid. Nobody cared about it. But gradually I started understanding the actual problem. And that's when I started to get noticed. My code was accepted. Some of the solutions that I sent were appreciated. And at some point, when I had a long vacation from Slit, I sent a mail to Professor Lal. He was the director at the time. Professor Lal, it might be a bit too much to ask, but is there any possibility that you can offer me an internship? You don't need to even pay me. I was teaching physics at the time, so I had saved about 35,000 at the time. And I can book my flight ticket and come to Thailand. You just give me a place to sleep and an internship. That's enough. And when you have been contributing to something for a long time, and when you have been very genuinely contributing, they couldn't say no. So I got a fresh passport and I was very excited, booked a flight ticket, went and got down in Thailand, and that turned out to be one of the biggest experiences I had in my early 20s. During the internship, of course, it was a free internship. I was doing so many things. This is me at that time, the tiny, small version of me. Not too long ago, it was like, I think, 8 years back, 9 years back, if I'm not mistaken. And some of these people were super influential in the industry. Like, these are the people from JAXA, from Japanese equivalent of NASA, to people who are like really changing the industry in disaster management. And I worked tirelessly day and night. So there were times where even Professor Lal would come into office sometimes to take like an American call in the middle of the night. And then he would see me working on my desk like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then he would be like, Alagan, what's happening? Why are you here? And I'm like, no, sir, I'm just trying to learn. So I'm trying to put my effort right here. And that guaranteed that I had a very successful internship. And my work was well appreciated. The Geoinformatics Center offered me to do another paid internship towards the end of the next vacation. And at this point, there were some Japanese professors who were visiting a Geoinformatics Center, and they were talking to us. And then my boss went and tapped my shoulder and introduced me to Mogi Sensei. So Mogi Sensei was one of the very most influential figures in the energy industry in University of Tokyo. And my boss introduced me to Mogi Sensei, saying, Sensei, this is Alagan from Sri Lanka, young fellow, 21 years old, but a very resourceful fellow. See if you can do something. So you won't understand how far recommendations can go, right? You won't believe. I got a research student position at University of Tokyo the next year, just because my professors, my lecturers, my bosses whom I worked under believed that I'm genuinely a resourceful person. That took me very far. So I went to Japan. I did my research internship. I was very successful. Worked on a solar panel optimization algorithm with big companies like Sharp and some of the governments in the Middle East. And now I've stepped up my confidence. Now things started to turn out. So when you gain that momentum, things started to turn out to be very magical. So at this point, I came back to Sri Lanka, and then Google at some point selected me as a Google student ambassador. So they have stopped that program now. Otherwise, I would be recommending some of you guys to become one of them. And that kind of took me to the next level, where I gained a lot of exposure into the industry. I started traveling. I started getting mentored by some big people in Google. I attended some Google programs internationally, and that kind of gave me the necessary exposure. By the way, this is not way too far. I'm still broke, at this point. And I was still a son of a teacher who was about to retire, who was getting like 25,000 rupee a month salary when he was about to retire. That was the scale I was at. So all of this started to happen. So I did successful internships. I had a good stint with Google as a Google student ambassador. And I was about to get into my 4th year of undergraduate. So like most of you, some of you might be on your final year. So I was about to start my final year. That's when I met 2 of these guys from UK who met me at an event and started talking to me and started pitching me their idea. Both of them were not from a technical background. I was from a technical background. But both of them had a crazy idea to build an artificial intelligence karaoke app. An app that can help you sing better by understanding on what pitch you are singing and guide you to sing better. So you need to build an app which understands on what pitch people are singing and help them sing better. Crazy idea. It was at very early stages of AI. I had no exposure to AI. I was barely able to build some mobile apps. But you know, opportunity is opportunity. Somebody, so those guys offered me to join them as a partner and a chief technology officer and build a company. All I have is just 2 internships. And one of them was a free internship and another internship. And should I skip everything and just become an entrepreneur and start a company? It was kind of mind-boggling for me. I could not make a decision. I did not know what I want to do. I was pretty sure that I will fail if I start something. I don't come from a business background. I barely had about 2,221 rupees in my bank at the time. I was a student at SLIT. I would even walk in the morning to university to save that 7 rupees at the time, the shortest distance on bus. To save that 7 rupees, I used to walk almost every single day. And suddenly I'm offered to join somewhere and start a company. So that comes with the financial commitment as well. I need to set up a company, I need to hire people, I need to pay people, and then build something together. After a lot of thought, I realized one thing, that I have nothing to lose. I realized that I am anyway broke, I anyway have nothing. So there is no harm in just giving it a try. So with that mindset, I started it. I got a small house behind the BMICH and went to Damro and bought these tables, got a loan and bought these good computers, because you needed good computers to be able to code for Apple phones. You need good iMacs. And this was literally my office. This is office, 4 people, and me sitting in another side of the house. And we would just work day and night. And I was living in Mahalingam. Office was in behind BMICH. So when I finish work by about 11, 11:30, 12 o'clock in the night, there will not be any buses. And if I take a tuk, it would cost me that time like 350, 400 rupees. Now it's a lot more. And it doesn't make sense, because I need to spend time in traveling, I need to spend money, and I don't have money. Even if I want to, there was no way that I could afford something like that. Then what I would do is I would just put up, kind of a sheet on the floor and then sleep in office, wake up and have a shower. It was a house, so I had a luxury of having a shower. And then I would just get back and sit on the table. Even my employees did not know that their boss was sleeping in office for more than a year. That is how the first year went. From the day one, I had a lot of ambition on the practices, how to build a great company. I've seen like how Google builds it. As a first-hand experience, I have seen that. So I really wanted to kind of replicate that in Sri Lanka. But we were struggling. We were struggling for multiple reasons. I did not have the product knowledge. I did not have enough engineering knowledge. I did not have knowledge in handling team or HR. And I did not have a financial backing. And within the first 9 to 10 months, we ran out of the money. So I got a 4.5 million loan. Even the bank wouldn't give me loan, because bank would tell me, hey, you're like a 23-year-old kid. Like, why would we give you loan? They told me to bring something called collateral. I went and searched on Google, what is a collateral? It was crazy times. And I somehow convinced one of my older friends who was very successful in the industry and a mentor for me to sign for a loan for me. And that's how I started. By 9 months, we ran through all of our money. And I was sitting in this corner, in this beanbag. I still remember thinking, how am I going to pay the salaries? Because there are 4 to 5 people depending on my company, and I'm responsible. And everybody is working hard. So I felt extremely responsible, and kept pushing, got loan after loan, started building the team. We would like start from like drawing the plans to drafting it on the board, and then kind of continuously pushing us day by day to get there. And also we made sure that we have a lot of fun in the middle to relax as well. And it took us to a point, at the end of 2 years, our product became successful, and we came first, and we won the National Best Quality Software Awards, beating some of the big companies like Dialog at the time, competing with us in the same entertainment category. This gave us a great visibility, and our product became stable. We signed partnerships, music partnership with big names like Sony Music to Think Music. We had big people internationally backing us, and at some point it was acquired by a UK company, which gave us a great exit to go with. Now, all these struggles came to a happy, successful closure because we did not give up. Right? That's one great message I take when I look back. There were so many incidents, there were so many places where it was almost impossible for me to get up and keep moving. There was a time when my second loan was over and I had salaries to pay, and I was sitting in that beanbag that I showed you. I was almost there to give up. I was almost ready one Sunday that I did not sleep the whole night, and I went to office in the morning, and I was almost ready to tell my team, hey guys, I'm really sorry. I don't think I'll have a salary to pay you guys after the next month. We'll have to close it down. There were so many days where I felt like, all right, this is the end. Like there's no way that I'm a young kid with no money and no knowledge will get through this. But I'm glad I had the persistence, and I had some belief that maybe we will make it, and that's what kept us pushing. And when we had a big success, when we had a big exit, made a lot of money, I was very clear with one thing. I'm still, to date, I'm grateful about that mindset that I had. I was not in the mood to spend money and have fun and, like buy a Lamborghini or like do some crazy things like that. To be honest, I went back and invested and started a company that became Rootcode Labs right now, what you see. We successfully built one of the very complex mobile apps and AI solution in a very early stage, where the market in Sri Lanka was not even mature. And I wanted to replicate the same success. And I wanted to make it a product engineering company which can help customers internationally to build great mobile apps with ease. Let me show you a quick 30-second clip of what turned out to be another success from the time we exited from Singapore.
Have you ever wanted your doctor to be ready for you when you need them? We at GoGoDoc have often wanted the same thing. Our new service will bring a doctor to your home at a time that suits you. Whether it's for you, your child, or loved one, a condition big or small, download GoGoDoc today to find out how we can help you. Book your appointment now. GoGoDoc, a doctor at your doorstep.
So GoGoDoc was the second biggest solution that we developed in partnership with a European company. And GoGoDoc became one of the biggest successes in UK. And GoGoDoc is something like Uber for doctors. And they have recently even signed a partnership with NHS, the government's National Health Service, to provide much more COVID-related healthcare benefits. Now we started doing this again and again. We started.
Have you ever wanted your?
We started working with multiple customers. So this was me and a few of our team members in TechCrunch Disrupt in San Francisco. If I'm not mistaken, this must be 2017. And GoGoDoc was selected to pitch at TechCrunch. And me as the Chief Technology Officer and we as a team who built this, we went there. It was an amazing experience. So we started helping companies worldwide, big or small, to build software, mobile apps, and artificial intelligence better. And then we rebranded, our new name came out called Rootcode Labs, which is what you see. We opened an office, what you see right now. This office, we opened it early last year. Every single brick and inch of it was created by us, the way we wanted, a beautiful interior, great place to work. And we started pushing us gradually, working with startups to working with corporates. And last year, we opened an office in Europe. We opened an office in Estonia. And we have people working there. Having a business in Europe help us to have stronger partnerships with our customers in Europe. And that was, everything started to fall into place. And right now, we are growing, and we are a great place to work. We do build great solutions of all the successes that we have had over time. Using that, we help companies all around the world, starting from smaller startups to bigger corporates, to build technology better. Now, everything started to work very well, right? It must be very happy to be in the place where I was. And then COVID-19 happened. So in March, it was a very rough week for me. All of a sudden, the world went into a lockdown. I was talking to my customers in the United States and Europe, and everybody was nervous. And within that whole 1 week, most of our airline customers, to hospitality customers, to retail customers, everybody went into a lockdown. Everybody lost their business, their revenue, and it was very saddening for me as a CEO and as a partner to see our clients do very, very bad. And that was the time where we also realized that there is a lot of things that we can do. So one thing we did was we gave a lot of concessions and help to our partners and clients to help them get through that. We gave them credits, we gave them different discounts, and we postponed their payments so that they can still keep innovating while recovering from their business. And at that point, we also identified one of the biggest problems in the industry in March. A lot of people who are consultants who do, let's say, mentoring or coaching, or who do counseling sessions, who do yoga, who do fitness trainings, all of them were suddenly locked down into the house. And their business relies on talking to customers face to face. And all of a sudden, they cannot do that. And that was when we realized there is an opportunity for us to build an app where you can go and find an expert from any industry. Let's say you want to find a coach, or you want to find a psychology expert, or you want to find, let's say, a mentor or a fitness instructor or a yoga instructor, or somebody to teach you a new language. Let's say you want to learn German or French. We can build an app where you can go in and find a person, read the reviews, and pay through your credit card or debit card, and then have a one-to-one video call. And that's when we went ahead and built something called Serve that became Expert Republic right now. So if you notice our journey, things go down and then we start picking up. We were doing excellent, and then COVID hit, and then everything, our customers were down. And then we are starting to pick up with a beginner mindset right now. So we as a team always focuses, and I as a CEO always focus on having a beginner mindset. And beginner mindset, you know how far it took us in 2020 during the pandemic. So there was this probably one of the biggest hackathons in the world called the Global Hack, organized by European Commission and a few other big entities and governments in Europe. They opened up a massive competition in end of March, early April. And then we went ahead and pitched this product idea. We finalized the idea only the day before, and we had 48 hours to build the idea, do a prototype, and pitch. So this is the video we came up with at the end of the 48 hours.
Hello, everybody. We are a group of engineers, business analysts, designers, and marketing professionals working at a consulting startup. When we got to know about the global hack, we got very excited because COVID-19 has made a huge impact in our lives already. And we know it's going to transform the way we live and work forever. It's time to make an impact in the world through technology. Let me introduce you to Serve. Serve is a software platform where you can find businesses and independent experts who can provide you services through one-to-one video calls. When you log into Serve, you will be able to see the professionals, or whom we like to call Serve experts. Serve experts belong to a business like a fitness club, mentoring organization, or institute, or they can be independent professionals. You can see their services, you can go to their profile, see their ratings, reviews, and the badges they earned. And when you like an offering, you can book them. When you book, the Serve expert would call you in minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the next revolutionary idea that's going to change the way we work.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm Mohammed Fawaz, founder of Curva. They're looking forward to you.
Right.
Hello, everybody.
I'm going to stop it.
We are a group.
And what turned out to be a well-respected idea and well-celebrated idea in Europe, we became the winners of the Global Hack. And that gave us a massive boost to take the idea forward. We took the idea forward and we made it an international product, and that also became number 2 product in Product Hunt, which is like the de facto Silicon Valley ranking. And we have thousands of active users who are using what's called Expert Republic now, where you can go and book any amount of any type of services, any type of experts. The world's best experts, some of the Silicon Valley mentors to some of the best marketing experts in Silicon Valley or London. Everybody is in our platform now. So this is my team now. A few months back, we have more people now. And how we came here was a very, very interesting journey, a very fascinating journey, but definitely a journey which has a lot of ups and downs. What the journey taught me was sometimes from the internship, sometimes you have to contribute without expecting when you are very young, when you are in your early stages. One opportunity can make or break your life. If not for Professor Lal giving me that opportunity to do that internship at GIC, I wouldn't have been the CEO of Rootcode Labs by now, because it's a domino effect of momentum, one by one. So contribute without expecting anything in return. Number 2, when you get opportunities, deliver you 120%. Don't ever do 70%, 80%, 90%, not even 100%. Give 120. Do your best, day and night, hustle. When somebody gives you an opportunity, like the opportunity to partner with Singify, and I was a 4th year student, 23 years old, I didn't know nothing. When you are not sure and somebody gives you an opportunity and you don't know how to do it, I think Richard Branson said the same thing. Say yes and figure out how to do that. Don't say yes and go sleep. Say yes and actually work hard to become the best at it. When you do something big in life, when you do something that's out of your capacity, you are definitely going to struggle. It's not going to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Like when I tried to build Singify, the first 2 years were extremely depressing. So when you go through things like that, persist, persevere. Don't give up. If you know what the path that you are going is going to actually work out, have that hope that dots will connect in the future and keep moving. When you actually become successful, Singify exit, let's say multi-million in rupees, don't flaunt money at your early stages. Be very humble. Money will change you if you let it change you. Money is a tool if you invest it in the right places. Use that money to build bigger things. When you make money, don't just run away or don't just spend on it. Invest in it again and build bigger organizations. Now, we don't just build bigger organizations, we even build and invest in more startups. So we have something called Rootcode Incubator, and we are incubating a product which is already an award-winning product called TrackKey. The product called TrackKey is something that we incubated. It came out of Rootcode, but it's a separate company now, and Rootcode is an investor in the product. So we build more companies now. So when you are successful, try to invest again and build a bigger successes and help other people, develop other people. And when you are successful, don't just sit back and relax. Because if you sit back and relax, you get run over. And when you do everything well, and if something unexpected happens, like COVID-19, convert your ideas, change your ideas, be very agile and find solutions, like how we founded Serve and Expert Republic. To growing to be a mature startup level, we never thought we would go back to a hackathon and work for 48 hours continuously without sleep and win something. So have that beginner mindset and always keep growing in every possible way that you can. Start with the preparation, pay your dues, work hard, persist, and when you become successful, try to make that impact on other companies and other people and develop people, your interns to everybody, and build something that's much bigger than what you can do. Kids, thank you so much for the time. I really enjoyed talking to you. I would love to hear from you. You can ask me any questions about my journey. And I think there is also a quiz where there will be 5 questions about what I have spoken about. Feel free to ask me. This is the time. I think we have about 10 minutes more before we end this. So you can switch on the microphone and ask me a question, or you can type it in the chat, which I'll be happy to answer. Also, this is my email. Anything you want, you can always let me know. If there's anything that you want, guidance or mentorship, even if I'm busy, I'll connect you to one of our root coders who can help you with. Feel free to apply for any open internship that you see on rootcodelabs.com. We are actively recruiting as well, and we recruit some very talented people. Let us know if there's anything that I can answer. Open for questions.